That's how it'll be. I started it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 164 of the Clever and Original Podcast.
164, yeah.
And one of your hosts, Kayley Misialek, alongside me, the man with a plan, Jayden Reinhart.
My plan is to do something other than play Dragon Quest. That didn't happen. I just played Dragon Quest.
That's cool.
Just playing Dragon Quest is a thing. I did a lot of things that weren't video games today. In fact, I played Hearthstone for like 30 minutes, but that's about all I had time for. I had to do a bunch of other shit.
Actually, today, I didn't really... I woke up, I watched like clickbaity YouTube videos for a little while.
God, I do that so much.
Yeah, I just click on it. It's like, what is this? And it's some guy like, hi, we're going to take care of a wasp infestation. I'm going to go through step by step on how to take care of it yourself. It's like, I don't need this.
It's
like I'm just going to watch it because it's on.
I have a bad habit of... So, like, I watch a lot of, like, fitness YouTube people.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, I have a bad habit of watching, like... Well, I watch the, like, actual content, too. Like, the real, like, shit. But they're, like, just, like, for fun, like, fucking around videos. Like, this one British dude I follow just does, like, ridiculous food shit all the time. So, like, he, like, only eat, like... He has a series of videos where it's I only ate X for 24 hours. Like ice cream was one of them. McDonald's was another one of them.
Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, he can do it though. Like he has to eat like 6,000 calories a day just to stay.
The guy who
weight.
Started this.
Yeah,
Jay Larson.
I started it.
Yeah.
I pressed the button. It did its thing.
What was that guy who eats like a ridiculous amount of food? He's a competitive eater. I don't know if he's...
There's Joey Chestnut. I don't know. I know he won the hot dog eating contest like 10 years in a row or something like that.
Yeah. The only food person on YouTube I watch is Report of the Week. But that's about it.
It's a pretty good one to watch.
Cool.
Yeah. I just, if I want to know how a new fast food item tastes, hey... It's reliable. I can get a long-winded explanation of the product, and that's exactly.
It's the most in-depth review of any product.
That's what I'm looking. That's what I'm looking for. I want to really get into the meat, pun intended, I suppose, of the product in question. Yeah. He shits on KFC like all the time too, which is great. Like most of the time, I think he's had
KFC's kind of bad.
Yeah, it's kind of mad. The
idea of KFC is a good idea, but they don't have anything good.
There's there's one thing there that I've gotten because I've went there like twice in the past 3 months. It's actually not bad, and because it's cheap. It's $5, right? You get like a
you get
a chicken thigh, drumstick. You get a chocolate chip cookie. You get mashed potatoes and gravy, which is the best thing in there.
Yeah, the best thing about that.
And then
place.
You get a biscuit. You get a little biscuit. The biscuit doesn't taste that good, but they have a little packet of honey in there. So you put that on the biscuit, and you
Is that
it's a honey sauce. There's a butter and there's a honey one. Sure. There's a butter. I don't fuck the butter. I just want the honey.
Yeah.
No, really, I won't offer that butter.
Butter's good too, but I mean, who needs that much butter? There's like 2 packets of butter for this biscuit that's like, I don't know, the size of a hockey puck.
That's a sad biscuit. That's
an alright biscuit.
I mean,
maybe.
When I think of biscuit, I think of like the Pillsbury, like fluffy, like.
I mean, it's not bad. It's
muffin biscuit.
It's a $5 box.
I don't.
You're
it's a fast food biscuit.
You're getting all right for that.
Yes.
It's cheap, If you need to eat a large meal.
I feel like there's cheaper stuff. Like there's dollar sandwiches. You can get 2 sandwiches for $2.
At like McDonald's. You can
get
McChicken. Is McChicken's on the dollar?
Yeah, they're $1.
All right,
so you can get 2 McChickens.
You could get, let's see, hold on. Two McChickens is 700 calories, or is it 800? I don't remember.
I don't know.
All right. The $5 box is about 1,000 to 1,200. So if we're going like a maximizing for dollar value, the amount of calories you eat, if you got 4 McChickens, all right, that you'd fuck up that box in terms of how much energy you're putting in your body.
You don't want the same thing, right? Like you want some variety.
Yeah, true. I guess there's
like 2 McChickens, 2 McDonald's.
The value of the box versus the McChickens, you'd have to eat 4 McChickens. Just think about that for a minute. Like, after the second one, like, you're looking down and there's 2 more left.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the law of diminishing returns,
Yeah.
right? The first McChicken is good. It's all right.
The second
The
one.
second one, okay, maybe not as good. And now you're going to like, oh, do I really want to eat this third McChicken?
Like, just think about how much mayonnaise they put on one, and then imagine eating 4 times that amount.
And it makes you feel so bloated. Like,
Yeah.
at least for me, like, after eating McDonald's, like, even just, like, a sandwich, like, I'm not even full.
Yeah.
I feel like just, like, big, like, fucking, like, water balloon.
I mean, there is a lot of salt in that shit, so
It's awful.
not as much as if you ordered like at KFC, like just a bowl full of fried chicken, that'd probably fuck you up pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you haven't listened to us before, we are the Clever and Original Podcast. We talk about comic book movie type stuff, video game type stuff, particularly in that order. I guess we also talk about fast food
Mhm.
I guess.
and calories.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I mean, I know like the menu items for a lot of some of them, I just kind of know them now.
Yeah,
That's a good thing
I
to
know.
Yeah.
It's probably. I should probably look at that, but no.
I
I mean, it's interesting.
I don't know.
You'd be surprised, some of the things.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So let's get on with the news this week. For instance, some
News.
movie type stuff. We've got Fox releasing the trailer for the X-Men, the Dark Phoenix something. I think it's just Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, but I think it's just Dark Phoenix. Yeah.
So the last X-Men movie. What are our thoughts on this trailer? Comes out February 11th, I think it said.
It is, like, becoming more glaringly apparent that if you participated in any of the Game of Thrones episodes, you're, like, guaranteed jobs and, like,
Oh
gigs
yeah,
for other movies.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, you just see them everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, I always think of them as their Game of Thrones characters and not actually as, like, an actor or actress.
Yeah.
It's like, kind of like when you see Daniel Radcliffe, like, oh, it's Harry Potter. Like,
Yeah.
he's not anything else.
Yeah. I mean, he's
Yeah,
done a
that
lot of other
sucks.
things, but
But he is Harry Potter.
yeah, you just kind of see him as that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks
I mean,
really
luckily
good.
for me, I have not seen Game of Thrones, so like
Okay.
I don't see them as their
I do.
characters.
It's weird.
Mhm.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's,
Well, she's going to have, like, a totally different...
I mean, yeah, it should be.
character.
Yeah. I need to see Apocalypse. I haven't seen that, so
Okay.
I do need to
Very
watch
meh.
Apocalypse.
Time travel one?
No,
Time
no,
Travel
Time
Days of
Travel
Future
Days of
Past.
Future Past. That one's really good.
I like that one.
Apocalypse is meh.
I still feel like I should see it before I see it.
Probably. I mean, yeah.
I should probably just watch it.
Jean Grey is in that film. And this film is obviously about Jean Grey.
Yeah.
It seems like they're gonna go all in that. It looks like X-Men 3, which was kind of the same story about the Dark Phoenix, sort of.
Kind of.
Except it was really bad.
Well, yeah.
This sort of feels like a more serious Deadpool 2. Because in Deadpool 2, they follow around this kid who's discovering his powers. And I mean, it gets a little more insane, obviously, because it's Deadpool 2, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's the same story of, like, this kid. And, like the central storyline is that, like, he gets sent to, like, this school or whatever and told that, like, he's broken, basically, and they can fix him. And, like, take away his
He's a
powers or
mutant.
whatever, and they torture him. Yeah, and then he, like, comes out, like, villainy. Like, it's weirdly identical. Like,
Yeah,
Jean Grey
it
in
is.
this. Because you saw her, like, in the clips in the trailer where she's, like, has a helicopter and, like, crashing it and killing people or whatever.
Mhm.
It's, like, the same thing. Only in Deadpool 2, he's also fat, and people make fun of him for that, so he has more of a reason to be villain.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it looked, it did give me some X-Men 3 vibes a bit, but I'm interested. I'm probably actually see this one in the theater as opposed to other ones that
when this came out, the trailer came out, I'm like, I forgot this was happening.
Yeah, I kind of did too. To be
I'm
honest,
like, oh, there's a trailer for an X-Men film. What? Like they got bought out by Disney, and I thought they were getting rid of all this.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Interesting.
it caught me off guard. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't have. I don't know. It's coming out in February, fairly quick.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the last X-Men thing
before
before
the whole
Disney gets
does whatever
them.
Disney does.
Yeah. Speaking of Fox releasing movies, according to Deadline, Deadpool 2 will be re-released in theaters on December 21st for a limited time. That will be PG-13.
What? Wait, say that again.
So Deadpool 2 is getting a limited release into theaters on December 21st for a limited time, except it's going to be rated PG-13.
It sounds fucking boring.
So you
Boo.
direct a porn video, and then you release a version where you censor out all the porn. That's what this is.
It's like,
That's what this is.
like they Ryan Reynolds
Boo.
kind of tweeted out a photo that looks like what's his, I can't think of the guy's name. He's the actor that was the kid in crap, why can't I think of it? In The Princess Bride.
I think I know what you're saying.
The kid in Princess Bride.
Yeah, so there was if I can, it was something, Fred Savage, yes. Fred Savage, when he was a kid, played, if you've seen The Princess Bride, you know, it starts out with this kid in his bedroom, and his grandpa is telling him a story, which is The Princess Bride.
Yeah.
And so it looks like there's a photo with looks like the same set. It's Fred Savage, but actually, his age, or which should be like, adult Fred Savage, and looks like Deadpool reading him a book in the place of the grandfather's place with a Santa hat.
That actually sounds hilarious.
So
That's pretty funny.
I'm kind of interested, because it seems like they're gonna make edits and make it more
kid friendly or whatever.
I guess,
Sure,
and
take out the guy who
put
dies in
in
the
different
background.
jokes that are kind of making fun of that. I don't know.
More fart jokes.
I suppose, yeah.
Replace every adult joke with a fart joke.
Yeah.
He just farts and goes, ew.
Ew.
I think this is like
Yucky.
a tongue-in-cheek sort of thing. It's
Yeah.
because Avengers, all the Marvel movies from Disney are PG-13, right? And they don't do
Yeah.
R-rated,
Yeah.
and Deadpool is R-rated.
And it is, the opening line of the movie is like, this is a family film.
Oh yeah, that is right.
Yeah. Straight up. Like, he's walking through an office building and people are exploding. There's blood everywhere. And he's like, this is a family film. And then he explains it at the end.
Yeah,
Oh, well, that's
So,
pretty
yeah.
good.
pretty cool.
That's interesting.
Um,
And it seems kind of,
It seems
I mean, yeah, I agree. It's probably pretty tongue-in-cheek. It's
I'm interested to see what the changes are.
Mm-hmm.
If it's just a watered down version.
That's
Screw
what it
that.
feels like it's coming. They'd have to add content after removing all the adult stuff.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not even movie length anymore. Like a 30-minute short.
Yeah. All right, that does it for movie stuff this week. Not very much news this week. And then moving on to some game stuff. PlayStation 4 testing out crossplay with Xbox and
They are.
PC and Nintendo
Only-
Switch
Only took them 10 years. But
with Fortnite, with Epic Games Fortnite, and that's the only one so far. Fortnite that supposedly had put the pressure on the company, despite Sony being very against having crossplay with the other game manufacturers. console manufacturers, I should say. Yeah, so there we go. What are our thoughts on PlayStation actually doing crossplay?
I'm happy they finally caved, I guess.
Well, it's just for this game, though, right? Just for Fortnite? Or...
Yes, just for Fortnite.
Okay. I mean, that kind of seems like it'd be the obvious move, because Fortnite is so big it's a meme.
Yeah.
Like, it's a pretty popular game. Everyone's playing it, so, you know, with how many people play that game and play with their friends and own different consoles, PS4 would be just dumb to not, you know, hop in on that and get some people at PS4 who want to play Fortnite, like a reason to play it on PS4.
Yeah, and I think they're probably going to get more people to jump back into Fortnite.
Sure.
I don't know. I think this is a good thing, obviously. You know.
I mean, if they did this with more titles,
yeah.
that'd be sweet.
Yeah, so maybe this is just them testing the waters or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, yeah, they should have done this earlier. They looked bad about it. Maybe this is them correcting. And, you know, hopefully this is a permanent thing and
that's what I
expands.
want, you know.
Well, like what was it? There was like a code that went with the disc with Xbox One originally when they were just announcing it. And like, oh, to share games, you have to do all this stuff. And then PS4 came out with that YouTube thing, like how to share games with your friends. And it's just one of them going like here and like handing them the game.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, shots fired. And then obviously they removed like that issue with Xbox One. So it's probably going to work out pretty similarly, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do cross-platform play or whatever. There's a little bit of a stroke there.
Pop toop, top toop.
I want to do cross-platform play.
Pop toop.
And then everyone's like,
toop.
fuck you, PS4. And they're like,
Pop
alright,
toop.
I guess. Didn't even know what I said. I said it so fast. But yeah, PS4 just kind of like saying they're sorry.
We're sorry.
Sorry.
We're sorry.
We're sorry.
We're sorry.
We're really sorry.
Oh my God.
Oh, South Park.
Okay.
Never change.
All right, so a good move, we generally think.
Yes.
Moving on, Xbox announces they will allow mouse and keyboard support for Xbox One. Looks like it will be on Xbox Preview in October and will be initially tested with Warframe.
I'm on Xbox Preview.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh.
When I went to Amazon, remember Tyrell?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a code and he gave it to me.
I love that guy. That guy was fucking awesome.
He's great.
So yeah, it sounds like they're gonna let developers choose how they want the control style integrated, if they want it integrated at all. It's current. As Phil Spencer said, if you're a dominant FPS player right now on controller, and you're worried that all of a sudden you're gonna get swamped because of a bunch of people, a bunch of mouse and keyboard players are gonna get flooded into your game. That's not what we're doing. We're putting choices into the hands of the developers about the games that they want to bring. More information on this should be happening at Xbox XO18 event in Mexico City on November 10th. So, thoughts on mouse and keyboard support for
that's
Xbox?
Great. That means that Xbox could actually get like PC strategy games, and it wouldn't be terrible. Because I don't think I've ever played a strategy game where it's like, wow, I really love the fact that I have to use a controller for this. Like Halo Wars wasn't that bad, but the entire time I played it, I was like, I'd much rather just be able to one hand drag, click, select all of these units, do have like key shortcuts if I wanted to do things like that. So yeah, that's cool. That means that kind of opens up the door for a lot of other other titles for Xbox, which is great because there's Microsoft obviously has the PC space, so there's all those games on there, a bunch of those that were that specific before could be brought to Xbox. And hell, a lot of games that, there's you just need a mouse and keyboard to play. Which is cool because it's just another avenue for those people to sell their products. Maybe we could even get, I don't know, like stuff like World of Warcraft, stuff like that on Xbox One, which would be really interesting.
That'd be cool.
That'd be a cool thing,
Should be interesting. Mouse and keyboard. I think it had some use on PS3 for like only a few things.
Yeah.
Maybe just like browsing the web or something. But yeah, I mean, it's really cool. It's just nice that, people have options. And like JJ said, we can get Xbox can now get a bunch of games that they couldn't have access to before, i.e., strategy games, etc. So yeah, I think this is a good thing. Just it seems like one of those moves that are like PlayStation allowing crossplay. That's just like, just giving more options to consumers about how they want to use their console, their games, and not have it so restricted. So yeah, I think that's ultimately good, for consumers. So yeah,
I like it.
So that is happening, and that does it for that. We've got one more bit of game news. According to Marvel game executive director of Spider-Man, Bill Roseman, tweeted that the success of the PS4 game, quote, kicks off a new era for Marvel console games, referencing a video from a kind of funny interview with Brian Intihar, I think that's how you pronounce it, where he said that they view it as the Iron Man of Marvel video games, which is, of course, referencing Iron Man being the first movie in the MCU, having a really good, starting point and expanding into the greater Marvel Cinematic Universe that it is now. And basically they say it kicks off a new era for Marvel console games, which will basically be their own thing and not, based on some movie and not just some like side thing or like mobile game.
That's exciting because that's how I've wanted that for years, but it's weird that it's taken this long, kind of like but at least we're getting it now.
So I think it's just like a sort of a remnant of like, so Marvel had a deal with Activision to make games up until like a few years ago. That's why they got like a bunch of Marvel Spider-Man games taken off of like off Steam and like Xbox 360 and such. And so I think that's more of a remnant of the past where, they just license out characters and they didn't really care about the games, and they're like, people are just gonna buy these because, they're Marvel characters or they're, these superheroes or whatever. So I think that was just a thing that lasted probably a little too long. That being said, this is interesting. It's really interested to see like what other kinds of Marvel games come out of this. Like what other characters are they all going to be like this sort of open world action sort of game like Spider-Man? Are they going to be different? Obviously we're hearing stuff about Square Enix making an Avengers game. Is that going to be related to this? Are they going to have like a shared sort of universe, which kind of is what it sounds like?
I hope whatever they end up being more like confident in themselves. Because watching a lot of people play Spider-Man, there were parts that seemed a little bit just like straight torn out of like tropes from other games.
Yeah.
Without giving away too much, there's like stealth missions where you don't get superpowers.
Or you
just
don't
sneak
get
around.
superpowers.
Yeah, well, because that was one of the cool things. Because there's
And-
stealth missions when you're and you're like swinging around, and you're like shooting web, and you're Spider-Man. But then there's stealth missions where you're literally that guy that dies in one hit, and you throw objects to distract. And it's like, why is this in the game?
I don't know what you're referencing. Like, are you referencing the Mary Jane stuff?
Yeah,
or like
I was trying not to say Mary Jane because I don't know if that's like is that a spoiler?
no,
Not really.
I don't think so.
Whatever. Yeah, you play as Mary Jane, and so obviously if you get caught or whatever, you lose in one hit, and you throw objects to distract.
Yeah,
It's like this is done in every other game. Why even have this section? You can tell that part of the story.
I
Spider-Man.
think
Or like you're Peter
well,
Parker
I mean,
at
I
some
think it
points,
was
right?
like
you get out of the suit and you're Peter Parker. Why?
I think it's like
Everyone wants to be Spider-Man.
I think it's just to like tell an aspect of the story with like Mary Jane and such, because it is a video game, and like just showing this stuff through like a cutscene isn't like the best, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know, and that and like there was like these short puzzles that were like connecting circuits, which those are my least. I like that stuff I didn't like about the game. They kind of like, I don't know, took away from the whole whatever of the game. But
Even in like Skyrim, when I'm playing the PC, I downloaded a mod to basically get rid of the lockpicking minigame. Because I hate it when I'm playing a game and it's like, oh, I need to do this thing. So you start performing this action and you have to play a game of Pong to complete said action. It's like, why am I playing a game in a game? Why can't you just be you?
right.
I don't want to like fidget around with this lockpick for 8 years. I just want to like, you know, I have all the lockpicking skills. Why isn't it just like a skill locked thing? I don't know. It just seems a little. If it was like, you know, the Spider-Man part was awesome. It looked great.
Yeah.
Thing seemed really smooth and fun. The story seemed interesting. I just wanted it to be that. And like, fuck everything else where you're just like taking pieces from other games and sewing it into yourself.
I have seen people referring it to as Insomniac's Marvel Universe, which I don't think is possible.
I don't think they're making all of these games.
Like, it's possible for movies because, you know, they make it, they move on, right? But, like, video games take, like, 3 years to make. So, like, you would have one new game, like, every 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
And, like, in order for something like, you know, that to happen... Also, to do with a bunch of characters, I think it's like a Marvel Games thing. Sure, Insomniac will do Spider-Man, but like I think there's gonna be other Marvel games made by different studios. Obviously, we mentioned,
Insomniac's not gonna make every game.
Right, like we mentioned Square Enix and the Avengers game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like this idea that they're not like the same characters from like the MCU or even the comics. They're their own thing, and it allows them to tell, you know, interesting stories that aren't restricted by certain preconceptions of like what they are and what they should be.
Yeah.
So yeah, Spider-Man creating a bigger Marvel Games universe. That does it for the news this week. Let's get on to the juice. So, we have a lot of content that we like to consume, whether that's movies, TV, video games, books, etc. And sometimes we don't have enough time. So the question is, how much content of which you are interested in are you actually able to consume?
So.
Oh, you have a...
I got lists.
You have a list.
I'm not going to name them all off. That'd take way too long. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Like 16 between... shows, movies, books, animes. And that's, you know, like, these aren't like 10-minute activities. And I think the biggest problem with like this is a growing list, obviously.
Oh
And I
yeah,
try to, like,
more
write it
shit
down,
comes
'cause
up
then
all the
people
time.
are like, "Oh, did you watch this thing?" It's like, no, I forgot or something came up.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I don't have time. But like that's like small talk, I guess. Like really easy small talk. Like, hey, how are you? How's the weather? Oh, how about this movie? And so because it's just so easy to bring up, you just hear about everything, and everyone wants you to watch everything, and it's so tough. But one of the, I guess, off this list I want to start is this Douglas Preston book series, and the first one's called Brimstone. What's it called? Something like that. That's, it's scribbles. I'm trying to read my own handwriting. But it's like a murder mystery. Like the killer is a serial killer, and he's trying to make all the deaths look like satanic like occurrences, so people believe in Satan. And so like there'll be like a person that was like burned from the inside, but the outside is completely intact. And he's like solving these mysteries, like how they do it, who did it, with what, stuff like that.
Cool.
That'd be a cool one to do. But yeah, it's just endless.
Yeah.
Yeah, between work, going to doctor's appointments, just doing my other things, like, it's hard to actually get that much. I watch I read a lot of like news and stuff. Like I read a lot of articles, and I watch like YouTube videos occasionally. I mean, that's like most of what my week is. I don't really get much time to like play video games or anything. Like I beat Spider-Man, but I also like focus like solely on that for like in my free time. And so like I probably at best get like time for like the content I want to consume at like maybe like 5 hours a week at most. And the people talk about the like backlogs of video games, and it's like, okay, I need to do this on my backlog. Like it becomes like a list where it's like I have to cross off things, and I've just stopped caring about that. I'm just like, I don't care if I miss this game. I probably should play The Last of Us. Hey, I hear it's a really good game, but you know what? I don't have the time, and there's other things that are more current, more interesting to me. I'm like, fuck it, I don't care.
That's the thing. Like, a good game takes a lot of your time. Like, maybe, like, a game I spend a decent amount of time and have enjoyed would be, like, 30 hours total.
Yeah.
A game that you are just completely addicted to gets to, like, 160. And even just, like, 30 hours, that's a lot of your life.
Oh, yeah, that's so much fucking time.
That's a day. That's an entire day, more than a day's worth that you've just played this. Or left it on, maybe. I don't know.
Like, I haven't finished anything in so long. Like, I haven't finished a single player game since, I finished Witcher 3 for the second time this summer. And that took me like 2 months to do. Yeah. It took me 2 months to put in like 65 hours into that game to finish it. But other than that, like, there's so many things I want to consume. Like, there's all these Netflix shows, all these animes, all these video games that I have installed on my Xbox and ones I have installed on my computer. And I just have God of War sitting there. It's been sitting on my PS4 for like 2 months. And I just haven't had time to like actually do it. So.
And like picking a game too is like walking into like one of those like animal adoption centers. Yeah. Seeing all these animals that look sad.
And you're like,
they
oh
all
no.
want an owner. It's like, I can't afford all of you. I get like one, maybe two.
Yeah.
Like it's a commitment. Like you got one, all the rest of them, you're just sitting there staring at like, man, you're just going to sit there for like 5 more years.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just going to neglect you. So I shouldn't do this,
Yeah. It's rough.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm like fresh out of college looking for jobs, but I feel like a lot of my time is spent working and doing that.
Yeah, I mean,
looking for jobs.
that's
such.
Every day is Sunday when you're unemployed.
it only gets busier.
Yeah.
From
Friday
rocking.
never comes. Tomorrow's always Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually, yeah.
Yeah, it's
I mean, it
pretty
does
shit.
feel like that. It feels like there's no weekend, right? It's
Yeah.
just like, oh, it's just another day where I'm gonna be working on a weekend. I'm working, or if I'm not working, I'm looking for
Yeah.
work.
Yeah. It's
Um,
just
so
busy.
just-
Just fucking not enough time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So I haven't done any. I play like multiplayer games that take like
that's short bursts,
half an hour,
Yeah.
and then I'm done.
right?
So
Yeah. So not that much is the
No.
answer to that
Nope, not
question.
much
We
at all.
don't actually
No.
get to consume that
No.
much.
Unfortunately, I feel like it's probably the same with a lot of people. I mean, there's only so much time.
only so
between,
much
like,
time. Yeah.
Actually getting money and paying bills and learning things, like just not enough time.
No, there's not even enough time to do the things you have to do.
Yeah.
So it's
Yep.
like
So trying to spend time to do
Yeah.
things that you don't have to do, you want to do, is like, ugh.
it's like that.
And then people have children,
Yeah, there's
and that takes up even more of the
yeah.
time
Yeah,
you
there's-
don't have.
I don't give people our age who have children. I'm like, I can barely keep
I-
myself.
I mean, I'd do it if I had to. Like, I
right?
would-
Like,
Yeah, I mean, respect
I mean,
for
you
them for
find
sure.
a way, probably.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
You find a way.
Human being, you gotta care for him.
yeah,
And whatever, but like
you figure it out, but still, like, fuck.
Yeah, like just
I wouldn't have time for anything.
I hear about people who like work 2 jobs, have kids, they get like 4 hours of sleep. They're waking up at like 6:30 a.m. because they have to
jeez.
like take care of their kid. It's like, oh my god, I sleep for 10 hours a day.
I wish I slept 10 hours a day. I'm really tired.
I sleep about 7 usually. That's about
Yeah,
how
I
much
probably
do.
sleep like 5 or 6.
I do 7.
I
I
don't
can't. I
actually
can't.
sleep
I
10
can't
hours.
function on 5 anymore. Like
Yeah.
I become physically ill within about 3 days of doing that. So
I can do 6 hours sleep or 10 hours, but nowhere in between. Has to be either 6 or 10.
that's weird. I mean,
Hmm.
guess it works if it works that way though.
Yeah, I
Fuck.
don't know why. Like if I get like 8 hours, I just feel like shit all day. But yeah, just not enough time.
No, not at all.
Sad. But there is enough time for me to play Dragon Quest 11. I'll keep doing that.
All right. I think it does it for us on this episode of the Clever and Original Podcast. Jay, if people wanted to find you on the social media sphere, where can they do that?
You want to recommend me some more media that I'll never be able to get to? Come find me on Twitter at Jayden Reinhart.
And JJ, where can people find you?
Find me on Twitter, JLarson107.
And you can find me at K Misialek. That's Kay Misialek. There's other K Misialeks.
Like just the letter K?
Yeah. On Twitter, and you can find us all at clever_original on Twitter. And as you are right now, listen to us each and every week on SoundCloud, iTunes, and other podcast services. And we'll catch you next week, guys, in episode 165.
Peace.
Yeah.